Hi, my name is Noshad. Some of you guys know me as Shabon, and this is Spurs video podcast that some guys have decided to call YouShubes. First of all, I want to wish Andros Townsend all the luck in the war at Newcastle. Although I hope he doesn't score or have any goals against us ever. But I met Andros back in 2011. He was playing for the under 21s. He's playing at left wing, and he played against Town. And he was such a nice guy. Had a lot of time for the fans, took pictures, and apparently he's been in the club since he was 8 years old, been in the club for 16 years. He's seen kids being cut, cut, and unfortunately, the skill set he brings, the skill set that's required, just doesn't no longer meshes, and they are letting him go. But I do wish him all the very best in the world. Football is a very harsh game, and it's sad to see him go. I remember getting Chingford. He was a lot bigger star then. He was, doing quite well for QPR at the time, Premier League. Still had loads of time. Really nice guy. So I wish you all the best, Andros. Just some real quick thoughts on the Palace game. I was there. For those of you who haven't been to Crystal Palace, I would really recommend it. It's a very odd stadium. Parking's a real bitch. It's a nightmare. I just had to knock on someone's door, ask if we could park in their drive, and she was so sweet. Didn't take any cash off us. She just said, "Yeah, it's only for the match. No worries." And the atmosphere at Crystal Palace is fantastic. What I like about those Palace fans is no matter, they were clearly overmatched. My mate was a season ticket holder. He could say that Palace just don't have the same level of individual quality. Obviously, Bolassi's injured. Kabay's just come back. But they don't really have the individual quality that we have, as from our players. And even though they did take the lead, they never stopped rooting for their team, and there's something we can learn from that. Palace fans are superb. They always get behind their players. That's what supporters do. What really pisses me off is you go, "Well, I paid my ticket. I can say whatever I fucking want to like." And you have, and you can. Believe me, say whatever you want. I'll give you an example. I've seen some of my friends do cage fights. I do BOJ, do no-gi. What I'll never do is scream, "Oh, you done this wrong, you done that wrong." What I'm there to do, if I'm supporting well, supporting someone there, I'm actually giving the support. I'm trying to say, "It didn't work out. That's all right. Try this, try that. Keep going. You're doing really well. Come on, you're sitting there. Keep going." That's what support does. If you want to be critique, and you obviously have done your grassroots coaching, and you've got your badges, and you've got like you wait for pro licenses and all that kind of crap, then I'd love to hear your opinion. Look, we all give opinions, but especially Lamella gets a lot of crap now. I'm not saying Lamella doesn't deserve to be criticised, but for me, the only men that should be criticising him are the manager, it's his teammates, and the coaches. They should be constructive. We're there to support. If you're going to a home game, the atmosphere, the drums, the chanting, it was just amazing. And I was really, if I lived in South East London and I was looking for a team to go watch football, it's 350 quid a year for 18 home Premier League games. We had a fantastic seat, and so it was. And I love the atmosphere. So looking forward to going back. The Dele Alli goal, comparison made to Gaza in Euro 96, and that's what I first thought when I first saw it again. I was there watching it. It was like, oh my lord, what the hell just happened there? Because you just saw the volley. You didn't. It was very difficult to see the actual blick and everything else. But you saw the volley, and it was like, wow, and it's like, what the hell? And it's the kind of goal that just keeps getting better every time I see it. It really is. For me, my favourite goal of the season has been the Dembele goal against Anderlecht, purely because it was as if time stood still, and the only thing that was moving was the ball. But in all other respects, that was superb. We've got a player of incredible quality. Harry Kane. I don't know who Bobby Smith was. I wasn't old enough to watch him play, but how he just turned them. It was like, where was the defender? Why did the defender jump? Harry Kane just was like Michael Jordan, just airtime, bang, head it in. And unfortunately, I had to leave early because I think some of the guys cottoned on that I wasn't Palace fan. I think they kind of knew what I was rooting for. I had to hold my leg down. It was so impossible. I did though. Very worthy Oscar Nolan performance. See? But personal colour, that's why I didn't get it. No, jokes, politics aside. No, it was a great game, and it was a great atmosphere, and there's real energy there. And I'm hoping that if we can generate even a quarter of that positive energy towards our team, when they play at home, and we can generate even a tenth of that noise, we'd have allowed, Carrie Hazel shut us down. Seriously. It was just, it was noisy, it was atmosphere, it was brilliant. But yeah, Nasser, and I was thinking, oh my God, what's he doing? And Nasser doesn't really, he'll do something, but he may disappear for the rest of the game. But Nasser was just, credit to, Pochettino. He came on, saw there was a problem, decided, do you know what, I'll take off Dyer, I'll put Dembele and Dele together. And that's great, because now we can actually give Dyer a rest. We say, do you know what, maybe we do drop Barrett Dyer. Yes, we may miss his ability to slot back into our back three and do everything else, but sometimes, you know what, maybe we need to get a bit more attacking, and it worked. The gamble worked. He put a great cross in. He can cross his left foot. I'm showing I see that a bit more often. And although I think Charlie might be disappointed because her favourite Crystal Palace player didn't really perform on the right back as well as he should have done, I think, to stop that cross coming in. Great goal by Harry, and then another goal by Nasser, and then Dele Alli was on fire. But you hear a lot of like, oh, he's crap, he's this, he's that, he's this, get him off. I would say, look, players struggling, or this is not happening, or this isn't happening. And I'll say that from my internet thing, but if I'm actually at the game, I will be nothing but supportive. Going forward, obviously January transfer window, we've got about 6 days left. I don't see us getting anyone in. It's just, not. And here's the thing: there's a real lack of quality out there in terms of the players he wants. I mean, I don't want to compare Pochettino with the manager. They're not down the road. Literally, they are literally down the road that way, all the way down Green High Road, Seven Sisters. Yeah, but they are. He doesn't buy. At the end of the day, a cook has to be able to choose his ingredients. If he hasn't got the ingredients, he has to be able to grow his ingredients that he needs. But he has to be able to cook with ingredients he wants. It's no point giving him something I don't want it, I can't use it. So he has to be given the help he needs, or no help. So I'm very grateful that Pochettino has decided not to buy players, and I think the Daniel Alvaro thing, the best example I can give for players of certain fans of certain age, I remember Faustino Asprilla, Newcastle, 12 points, rocking it. They bring in Asprilla, they feel the need to play him, whatever. Just something goes wrong. The balance is upset. Credit to Man United, they really brought it back and did superbly to win the league title that year. But considering they had lost Ince and Hughes and all so many players, and they'd lost Cantona for a fair bit that season as well. But they did superbly. I think Newcastle, it was theirs to lose, and it was theirs to lose. We have a magnificent lead right now. We're ahead of Chelsea. Man U's just can't seem to get it together. Liverpool, you never know what Liverpool will turn up. So we have a really good opportunity. Let's not screw the pooch by buying a player that doesn't settle, that may disrupt the team balance. I mean, those of you who've seen the Barcelona, Harry Winks, losing, what was it? Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock or something. I don't know what they were playing, but he lost. That's really great team spirit, and you just see it. I mean, you see they seem to enjoy being together. Maybe that's just for the cameras, maybe that's just for that, but there just seems to be a camaraderie. As as a guy, the late Roger Rodpack, who sadly left us 2 years ago, once said, "Was that the Italian fella?" Yeah, and he had one brain. But do you see what I'm saying? I think it's better to wait, and I think there are some good players like this. There's a guy from Basel, Brill Animalo. There's Mishi Batshuayi. I can't pronounce his last name, but there are players out there. But if you're a player and you're going to play in the Euro 2016, you're not going to move. You're going to go to a new club unless you're not playing already. If you're playing somewhere and then you move, wherever you move to, it's a real risk. You're only going to move to re-salvage your career. So, case in point, Michael Owen in 2006 had to move from Real Madrid to come to Newcastle to resurrect his career. I don't see many players moving unless you're willing to play over the odds. I mean, Wilfred Bond is a great player, but 25 million? I don't think so. I think he's a good player, very good player, but 25 million? And people are talking about, what if it's Harry Kane? Well, what if Man City lose Aguero? Yes, they got Boney, but he's nowhere near as good. Are Arsenal as good without Giroud? Not really. They can play Walcott there, but he's nowhere near as good as central striker. Chelsea, they lost Costa. We're all vulnerable. We all play one up front, and that's a problem. Who's going to want to come in and just be, a bench warmer? That's why I give Charlie Austin credit. I mean, he's doing pretty well at Southampton. I think we're pissed because it's like 4 million. That's an absolute bargain, and it is a bargain. But he wanted to play. He will get goals, but he has to start every game, and I don't think he'll get that with Tottenham. So, like I said, hopefully we're going to be getting the players we need. My apologies to Ellie for going over the 10 minutes, but I'm thinking that going forward, look, we've got the FA Cup. Hopefully we can beat Colchester this weekend. We can blood Bimmer and Alva a lot more, get that relationship going. And I'm going to post on Twitter. Follow me at the Real Shaban. And by the way, check out some really good podcasts. The Houston America, the Hotspur America podcast. My mates Sam, Kenny, and Simon Dosworth, and Baz Coney, very, very good podcast. Tottenham podcast by the North Carolina Spurs. There's some really effective podcasts. Obviously, the Spurs Show. There's Carl's Recapping with their radio and all the roast. So yeah, but I think going forward, I'm sorry if I'm going a bit long, but obviously transfer window, the Palace game, Colchester. Please forgive me for this. No, but I think we've got a very good side here. They want to fight for each other, and literally when you saw Dele Alli, I don't know if it was a knee in the back, but he definitely did do a right stags thing with Mark Noble. When him and Harry Kane had a bit of a set too. You got Kyle Walker into it, and Eric Dyer every time you see him gets into it with a few players, just backing up his teammates. I think we've got a really good spine there. We've got incredibly good goal difference. Clearly, we have to keep Kane fit, but at the end of the day, we've got 4 number 10s. But I like the way they all interchange. They Ajax our system, best for want of a better word. I'm not sure the Spurs fanatic can give me from who often say by the minute Spurs can give you a lot better. But what it boils down to for me is that you have to. I think it's about balancing it. It's very careful. You had too much of anything. If you had the right, it's like you're cooking. You had too much of one thing, or you taste that one ingredient because you've added too much, or it's not the wrong amount. Football teams are such a delicate nature, the chemistry and everything. I always remember, was it 4 years ago, what happened to Harry Redknapp and the speculation of would he join, and we ended up signing Zaha and Nelson because Levy had no idea what he was going to do. People blame Levy, people blame Harry, people blame everybody. It's happened, we deal with it, we move on. We've got a team now that, Pochettino's got the head of recruitment. He seems to get on very well with John McDermott. And we're building something very, very good. And I think, if we can get, some quality players in January, great. If we can't, we make do what we have, and hopefully, we're in the Champions League spot. Anyone but Arsenal has won the title, and we can bring some better players in and improve what we have. And unfortunately, it's hard to be sentimental. I mean, I've met Andros, really nice guy, lovely. Here's the thing. I mean, today on the day that it's been sadly announced that Peter Baker has died, I actually met some double side, and you know what? I met Cliff Jones and I forgot the other guy's name now. It'll drive me nuts now, but I met Cliffy Jones and Terry Dyson, and they were just so lovely. They could just tell you stories for hours, and they would have happily done so. They were just so kind, so generous with their time. And I'm not saying current players don't do that, but they don't have to. I mean, they make their money, they don't have to spend time with you, they don't want to. These guys just love the club. But Andros, you can clearly tell, he loved the club. And I say I'm sorry to see him go, but Pochettino is ruthless for a reason. He wants to succeed, and you need that ruthlessness. That's a sentimentality. Remember, Norman Gallagher did this really good. If you ever check it out, his posts, he does a regular weekly column, and he spoke about Brad Friedel. Now, Brad Friedel retired at the end of last season. We all thought, it's at Everton, it's a meaningless game. We're already fifth, or I think we were fifth at the time. Why not just play Brad Friedel? It's his last game, no. Or do you not bring him on as a substitute, put him as a substitute to Mark Michel Vaughan? No. There's no room for it. Pochettino's very, very ruthless. He's not a sentimental guy. Football's a big business. There's no room for sentimentality. So really, obviously it's a great time to be a Spurs fan, but you know what? Even when we were shit, and I first started doing these YouTubes because we were shit, and I wanted to just vent my spleen. I will always get behind the team because that's what supporters do. So please check out and by this is for Lefty G. Apparently he started coming to Spurs Forum. So I'm sorry if you had to see if it was YouShubes that brought you there, but not that you come to Spurs Forum. I'm completely glad that you're there, but I'm very, very glad that you enjoyed there, and Spurs Odyssey, some really good sites. And I said, my best time at Spurs is always at the time in the pub afterwards. We won a game, lose a game, drawn a game, but you're there with your mates, you're just having a laugh. The crack is good. That's the Irish crack, not that. I hadn't actually smoked a crack pipe, but that kind of crack. And that's the best time, just being with mates because you just passionately love your club and being with people that share your passion. And that's for me the best thing about being a match day is for me. Anyway, it's great chatting to you. Sorry it's been a while since my last YouTube. I'm sorry I've gone on by an extra 5 minutes and 30 odd seconds. And as always, give my shouts out to Ellie, and as always, come on you Spurs.